Aloha! Today I would like to introduce Charlotte Rosecrans. She's a very influential member of the 2022 Republican Party of Hawaii. Charlotte, please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about your experience with the Republican Party and why you feel it is necessary to contribute at the moment.
Aloha, my name is Charlotte Rosecrans. I'm a regional vice chair of the County of Honolulu. And if I was to sum it up in few words, my intent is to educate the people on their civic duty rights, as well as ensuring that they understand the United States Constitution and knowing the freedom and liberties that come along with it.
Great. What experience have you had so far with the Republican Party? Positive, negative?
I mean, it's all around. There's positives of getting to meet new people, seeing a lot of new people wanting to get involved and not sure how to do that, being able to see people rise and learning about their liberties and their freedoms and their rights. It's been such a revelation being able to see, like we have your guys' precinct chair here in 20, where she was really intimidated on getting involved, and seeing her flourish and getting more involved is phenomenal. And I stand behind anybody that needs to get educated, needs to understand, and push them in the right direction, that they're not alone. Negativity, it's unfortunate that, I got heads up with the executive committee on arguments because of the fact they said it's not my responsibility to educate, and I totally disagree with that, because people perish for the lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6 says that, and it's pertinent to understand who you are, and I will be willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to ensure that people know who they are.
What would you say to people who don't know the Republican Party of Hawaii and you want to educate them on who the Republican Party is today? What do you want to tell them about the Republican Party that makes them want to join, perhaps?
It's time for the grassroots to grow. It's time for your voice to be heard. It's time for us to stand together. Stand against this tyranny, because it's only you and I and we the people. The Lord gave me hold the line this year. Ku'iluna kako. Stand together. Everyone, not one person left behind.
That's a great message. Charlotte, what do you hope to accomplish as a Republican for the party in Hawaii? If the Republicans get their way, get your way, what is your vision of Hawaii under Republican management?
The voice of the people heard.
That's great. Is there anything you would like to tell the people watching about your experience with the Republican Party, your experience with being in Hawaii, your experience with the people of Hawaii that maybe they don't know and maybe you can share with them, help educate them?
God is nature's and nature's God. There is a group of people that have been silenced or pushed aside. And until the people understand their civic duties, until they understand the power within themselves, I consistently tell people constantly, the more power you give to a lie, the more it exists. I stand on Mulberry versus Madison, which is one of the most reused court cases since 1803, and everything repugnant of the Constitution is null and void. 99.9% of all of these laws are getting pushed through. All of these situations within the government that's been happening is actually null and void. And the more we give validity to it, the more it exists. Let's ignore that and let's stand on what God has given us, our God-given unalienable rights.
How important do you feel it is for people to get involved in 2022 and beyond?
the more people that we get involved, the more the voice gets. For instance, you go to the store with one person without a mask, they're gonna annihilate you. But you have 100 people going into the store without a mask, they can't stop you. It's all about the numbers.
What's your message to the people who are kind of sitting on the sidelines right now, maybe thinking, I don't need to get involved. It's just, there's always something going on. It's always some big war. It always resolves itself. Do you think it's more important in this 2022 and beyond that people, you know, take a step back and say, hey, maybe I do need to get involved? And what do you think could motivate them to get off the sidelines and get involved?
God provides all things. How I got where I'm at is I was actually 16 years old, homeless. I've been a single mom. I now own my own condo here in the state of Hawaii. I also have my business for the 5th year in a row here in Hawaii. It has been difficult this last year and a half or 2 years in this pandemic, but during all of that, there's sacrificial things that needs to adhere to, and I was given or sent to National Liberty Alliance, and it's a website where it gives you free education. Now, it's up to us to do what is right and do what is, you know, how do we get them involved? You know, it's the will of the person, you know, it's a choice that people have to make. I mean, over the last decade or two generations, let's put it, you know, we have been so complacent and so comfortable that, you know, we don't even, you know, we just let it go. Well, it'll work itself out. Well, the more we sit on the sidelines, the more they take advantage of us, this tyrannical government. We need to get involved. We need to get interested. What bills are going through? Yeah, at the same time, Mulberry versus Madison, yes. But until we stand up and do what is right and stand what we need to do, I mean, I keep redundantly repeating myself, but I go back to the same thing. It's up to the people to stand together. I mean, I don't know how else to elaborate. I apologize.
That's great, actually. How worried are you that in 20 years we will not know the way of life that we know today in America? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think is the likelihood that we're living a completely different way of life in 20 or 40 years from now?
Well, I apologize, because at this point, if everybody sits on the sideline, we won't have 20 years.
Well, that's all great information, and hopefully people will see this video, know that the Republican Party is the people of the community now. It may have been different in the past, but now it is the people of the community, and this is a testimony from a very strong member in the community who's been, you know, convinced that we need to take action, and take action now. Thank you very much, Charlotte Rosecrans. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people viewing?
Kui luna kako. Let's stand together.